He was courtside, and LeBron dapped a bunch of people up, just totally disregarded him and his friend. What was happening on the internet, everyone was like, Cooper DeJean is going to take that personally. Cut to the Super Bowl, pick 6. And I think now LeBron owes him that dap up.
Luka's going to give him a ticket.
Yes. He better not pay for that ticket.
And he's going to be sitting there. LeBron's going to ask him to put some powder in his hands, throw it up. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Co-Captains. I am Megan Gailey, joined by my co-host, husband, father of my child, a man that I have spent the last 4 days in a hotel room with, CJ Toledano.
How's it going? It's really funny to spend that much time that we have together with our son and then go, hey, let's top it off in front of microphones for millions to see.
Let's also work together. We did take a 5.5-hour flight last night. Where did I try and get in a fight that CJ was going to have to finish? Maybe, but then I cooled down. I got a fruit and cheese plate. I watched Blink twice, and I had a nice time.
That's what they don't tell you before you get married, that you are going to have to finish the fights. And the thing is, like, half of the fights that you want to get into, I don't really believe in the cause. This one, more than half. It's just like, I don't need to fist fight someone over like a parking spot.
And I don't want you to fist fight. Yeah. If they want to fist fight me.
No, they can't fist fight my pregnant wife.
Okay. This has been an issue with every man I've ever dated. Is they're like, you start fights, you write checks that your fists cannot finish. We had a wonderful weekend in DC.
Yes.
Sports-filled, child-filled. It was Super Bowl weekend. It was also the Super Bowl of us being full-time parents with our child, our nieces, and then a bunch of children we had just met, too.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, our kid is amazing at traveling.
Yes.
He is excited by it. He's like chill. He screams and stuff, but it's like funny screaming.
Yes.
And he loves to watch
Flight attendants love him.
Movies on the plane, loves snacks. So he like loves it, but it is extremely tough. I am tired. We got in last night at 10 p.m. Like you said, 5.5-hour flight. I was like, oh, at least the Lakers game is going to be on in Luka's debut, but it was on for the last half hour of the 5.5-hour flight.
Yeah, you kept being like, okay, it's on
yeah,
now.
Because the time zone's messing
Then
up.
I see Kelvin Sampson, and I'm like, I know he's not a part of the Lakers organization. Then it would be like another college basketball game.
No, they just, like, I watched a full college basketball game thinking it was going to be on, and they were like, now Houston, Baylor.
Yeah, and you're like, that's...
I watched that.
Luck.
Yeah, I mean, it's sports. I'll watch it on the plane, but I was just like, at least... No, it didn't really get to kill any time, but the Lakers are incredible, so.
I got to watch a live episode of Below Deck Down Under.
That's fun.
Live TV on Delta. Okay, so.
Yes, it was a big sports weekend. Super Bowl, we've been previewing it, and then it finally happened. Let's break down our reactions to that.
Okay.
I think let's just react to, I think overall everyone said pretty uneventful from the game to the halftime show. So let's start with the game.
Stinker of a game.
Yeah.
Extremely high hopes for this game.
Yeah.
We had done so many podcasts talking about it, not just on this. I've been previewing it on my other one. We were guests on, like, we just talked so much about this game. That's what's so funny about the Super Bowl. There's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's nothing else happening. It is the most watched event of the year.
Yeah.
Like, more than the Oscars, more than anything else that's going on, and then for the game to be like is a little funny to me.
Yeah. I don't, I'm going to be the opposite of everyone's reaction, because the thing is, like, I wanted the Eagles to win.
Yes.
They came out incredible.
Amazing.
And so I really can't complain about that. Like, the Eagles had a great game. It wasn't like it was a low-scoring game. It wasn't like everyone was having, missed passes or, like, kicks not going in. I mean, for one side. But the Eagles showed up, and
the defense was incredible.
Yeah.
Really fun storylines. Cooper DeJean,
yes,
like a rookie, caught his first NFL interception in the Super Bowl, ends up being a pick six on his 22nd birthday.
Okay, and so yes, that is awesome. Young guy, white defensive back,
Yeah.
which is
White
rare.
TV. Come on, you got to
That's
get on board
rare.
with that.
So to have a huge play in the Super Bowl, here's the backstory why I love this. And I was telling you about this on the plane last night. So again, I watch every Lakers game. I see every.
I want to pause right here. He is going to tie this to the Lakers, and after he does that, I am going to tie it to the Colts.
Look at
somehow.
that. Look at that.
That's how selfish we are. Okay.
So there's a clip that everyone was making fun of that came out. Cooper DeJean was courtside at a Lakers game. Again, the Lakers, LeBron, no matter who you play for, your allegiances, that is a hot ticket. You want to do that at one point in your life. Cooper DeJean, who on this, Super Bowl or championship bound Eagles team was like, I'm going to go take in a Lakers game, sits courtside.
Also a rookie. It's like, it's hard to know what NFL players look like unless you're a fan of that team or they're uber famous because they wear helmets.
Yeah, but and sports fans have known about him. He has basketball highlights. He has football highlights. But anyways, he was courtside, and LeBron dapped a bunch of people up courtside, just totally disregarded him and his friends. And so what was happening on the internet, everyone was like, Cooper DeJean is going to take that personally, to use another meme from Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Cooper DeJean is going to take that personally, cut to the Super Bowl, pick 6. And I think now LeBron owes him that dap up. And I hope that I feel like that's going to happen very publicly.
Yeah.
LeBron's very aware of what is being talked about on the internet about him. So Cooper DeJean, I hope you make it to courtside again.
Yes.
Someone's got to make that happen. Like
Luka's going to give him a ticket.
Yes. He better not pay for that ticket.
And he's going to be sitting there. LeBron's going to ask him to put some powder in his hands, throw it up for the pick 6. Cooper DeJean on the Eagles, along with Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, another amazing defensive player. I believe it's Jalen Carter, all because of the Carson Wentz trade to the Colts. Those were all picks that the Eagles utilized to build this incredible defense and star-studded offense, too. Saquon Barkley was shut down in that game. Yeah. I wanted Saquon to be the MVP because I love him and I love his little kids. And then Jalen Hurts ended up being the MVP, and that's fine. That's more than fine. So much said about the all-female team representing him. Jalen, that picture of him sitting on the floor smoking a cigar, that is going to be one of those Kobe and Jordan just won the championship pictures that lives on and on in sports, I think.
Let's talk about, because we talked about Jalen Hurts' all-female representatives, reps. His dad was his football coach in high school. His dad, who also, upon research, was trying to make it to the league himself, came up short, but has been he credits his dad a bunch to getting him where he's at today. Mm-hmm. I feel like that is like such a tough thing, your parents being the coach, and you're on this journey to someday make it professionally, like that could hurt as more than it can help in certain situations.
Did your dad ever coach you?
No. Okay. My dad never coached me, nor did he play in those father-son games.
Okay, he was like, I'm a doctor. I cannot get hurt.
And I remember that hurting my feelings a little bit. No, it's just like, but my dad, I was the third of my family, a third kid, and so like my dad was old. Like I feel like my body's breaking down in pickup right now. Mm-hmm. And my dad had me when he was my age currently. So like by the time I'm in 6th grade at like age 10, like
he's almost 50.
Mid-late 40s. There's no way he's playing a father-son game. Who did play was my sister. My sister played, like, you can replace, you can sub in.
And your sister is like a incredible athlete.
She was like in high school.
Still has track records at her high school. Yeah. My dad coached my brothers and me in everything.
Okay.
So like people will still come up to my dad and be like, "What's up, Coach Gailey?" Yeah. Because he ended up being other people's coaches. I loved having him as a coach. Yeah. And then for tennis, which I was like better at, he was not my coach. And he actually drove me insane.
Why?
Because he traveled for work. And so he missed a lot of my tennis. And then he would come back in and he would like catch a match and he'd be like, "Don't do this." I'm like, "You haven't even been here to see what I've been doing." And I played golf too. And I was so bad at golf. Famously, my dad took me to the driving range because I really wanted to join the golf team because our family friend became the high school coach, and I loved this man, Bob Pretty, rest in peace. So I wanted to join so I could just like be with him, hang out with this family friend.
Yeah.
My dad took me to the driving range. We hit some balls. On the way home, I go, Dad, am I bad? And he said, you're not even good enough to be bad. Dang.
But I feel like, yes, that was cutting in the moment.
Yeah.
But does, like, in your career...
Did that make me a better golfer?
Yeah.
No, I'm still really bad.
But do you remember those things when you are faced with a challenge in your career?
No, because my dad's always like, how much did you make for that?
I do think, so I guess, would you say you're pro or con?
Absolutely.
Like parent,
If
parent
my
coach.
dad was out there for softball and for like my brother's baseball and stuff, he was like, listen, I want us to have a good time. I want us to learn the fundamentals, and I want us to be good sportsmen. Good sports. And so it was, and there were dads that were crazy. And this is girls softball. There were dads that it was like, it felt like they were coaching in the Super Bowl. That was the level of intensity. And it's like, that's not the energy. So I am pro parents coaching if they are in it for the right reasons and not trying to like relive some sort of thing that they feel like they didn't accomplish, that they're driving into 7-year-olds.
And so again, I think it is so nuanced, the parental influence of, kids playing sports. Because, okay, there's another player on the Eagles, and this absolutely blows my mind, and I feel like the media isn't talking about it enough. Mm-hmm. So, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker for the Eagles.
Yes.
You sent this story in.
Yes, his dad, Jeremiah Trotter Sr., also won a Super Bowl, and there is
did not win a Super Bowl.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he won the NFC Championship game.
Oh, I see that confetti.
They lost to the Patriots, Tom Brady's 2005 Super Bowl.
Boo.
So here's what's crazy about that. There is a picture, there's video, you can go see it. NFC Championship game, Eagles win it. Jeremiah Trotter Sr. is holding Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in his arms as he celebrates winning the NFC Championship game. He is a baby.
A baby in 2004 when I was graduating high school. So that's also crazy. And now there's a picture of Junior and Senior on field in New Orleans after he wins.
That is so crazy. To be an Eagles linebacker, and then your son is an Eagles linebacker who kind of like avenges or finishes the job that you did not finish, and beats also a quarterback that is being compared to Tom Brady. So
while
I just
Tom Brady's in the booth,
again, make that there, just like life couldn't get any more full circle for this story that your son. There's a great interview that they do. After the game, they're on field again to be with your son, who's named after you and plays the same position for the same team to win the Super Bowl. I am like, that is one of the greatest sports stories I've ever seen.
Layered. Even more layered was the Kendrick Lamar halftime show.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay, so the game is a stinker. A little lackluster, boring. And then, basically at halftime... listen, we obviously remember Patriots, Falcons. So no Super Bowl is like over until it's over. But this was trending already over. Yeah. And then Kendrick comes out. The first thing visually I am interested in is his bootcut jeans. I said, I had those jeans in 8th grade. I'm so glad they're coming back because that is actually the best shape for me.
Yeah.
And so that is what I was focused on. I think it was tough. You and I can contend halftime show should be women or Bruno Mars.
Well, I mean, not them specifically, but I do. The thing is, and I will say, I enjoyed that halftime performance.
Yes.
I do think everyone is more accustomed to it being, a absolute performer.
Yes.
In which Kendrick is, but in a different way.
No, the further we get away from it, the more feel impacted by it.
Yeah.
It's like one of those performances that needs think pieces written about it.
Yeah.
Because it is so layered and there were so many visuals and so many kind of like Easter eggs, as we say in the business, that are hidden within it that when you're just watching it for the first time, you're not necessarily able to catch.
Yeah.
I think people's reaction to it of being like, oh, that wasn't the country is very divided on this. Okay, we can say that. I think the game being boring did not help that then you're going to have a halftime show that is just by nature slightly more subdued because that is the type of music that the artist does.
Well, people were giving up on, we build up so much. Super Bowl is going to be awesome. And they were kind of done by the time we got to the halftime show. And I will say, even just to go back to like, he is not a performer.
He is a performer.
His background dancers were incredible. The direction, and again, like, because I like direct things, you notice, Kendrick doesn't know, like, he doesn't dance, but the stuff that the moves and the stuff that he was pulling off, like, there's that one where they're doing, like, the 360 of the camera views, and he's popping in and out.
Yeah.
Like, that to me was cool as hell.
Oh, and even that meme of him, like, looking at the camera
Say Drake.
is going to live on forever, just like that Jalen Hurts photo. Our son, we were at a house that had 7 children in it, 5 adults. We were kids outnumbered. Our son was the only one down in the basement watching it, and he was dancing his little Filipino booty off. Like, he loved it. And I think Kendrick is just like truly an artist. Yeah. And I thought Samuel L. Jackson. And the truth is, us having been to Super Bowls, we know that those halftime shows, they're produced for television.
Yes.
They are not produced for the people in the stadium. Yeah. So one of my best friends, Rachel Bonetta, hello, she was there, is like a massive Kendrick fan. And she was like, the acoustics were like not great. Yeah. It was a little hard. Also, he raps so fast. Like, he's just incredible.
As fast as you talking?
As fast as I talk. Like, Kendrick, let's collab. And so it's like, that's just harder to catch there. But I think watching back, everyone is like, wow, we got to witness something that was really cool and will probably never be done at the Super Bowl halftime show ever again.
Yeah, everyone going, oh, I don't like this. All the think pieces, like you said, there are so many think pieces about it that it was pretty impactful. It wasn't a boring or throwaway, like... Yeah, I just think people are going to look back on it and go, whoa.
Yeah.
And not to get too much into, like you said, the layers, but like the beef between Kendrick and Drake, there's just so much. It's not, we are not the two on a parenting sports podcast to break down the Easter eggs of the shots taken at Drake. There's so many Easter eggs in the thought and the production of it all. Everything was done for a reason and was just pulled off incredibly.
I want to give you credit. You had an incredible prediction for next year's Super Bowl halftime show.
No, you're hyping this up. I don't even think it's that.
So you asked me, who do you want to do? And I said, Cher. That's my answer every time.
Not going to happen, but
obviously I know it's not going to happen, but like, I'm allowed to dream. And it's in Santa Clarita. It's at the 49ers Stadium next year. And you said...
Kelly Clarkson.
I think that's incredible. Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Of course, a white lady is going, oh.
She's a singer.
No, I love Kelly Clarkson.
She has a very popular television show. She loves the NFL, hosted NFL honors. I think she would be an incredible pick.
Yeah. No, I think, she's, you know what? She continues to go viral for like doing covers. And I feel the same way about Miley, who I think, has Miley done one?
Miley has not. Miley would be
incredible.
Miley
but
would
like
be amazing.
Miley and Kelly Clarkson are artists who will cover songs. And you're like, oh, that's just a better version of the song.
Singers.
So, does Kelly Clarkson, does she do dance? Like, is she a performer in that way?
She's the first ever American Idol. She can do it all.
But I do think, we are going to go back to someone who has like a Bruno Mars-esque quality
discography.
Can sing and dance. But we just can't go back to Bruno Mars.
Okay. Kids portion of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Nick Sirianni's kids. So cute. When he picked up his kid and he said, "You did it. You won."
Yeah.
I mean, when Conrad says that to you after a rec league basketball game, it melts your heart.
Yeah, no, and also, too, just remembering how Nick Sirianni was on the hot seat to begin the season, which, again, just goes back to, like, fans and critics just speak too early. Like, should this guy get fired? Like, can you imagine being a kid and seeing your parents being talked about that way in the media? And then to go and win the Super Bowl? again, we talk about imparting life lessons on our children. Like, that's got to be, I can't imagine this kid having any hero but his dad. I mean, his mom. But, like, yeah, my dad, they talked so much shit about my dad, and then he went and won the Super Bowl. Like,
I would like to be on record that I was pro Nick Sirianni, even when he yelled at the fans. I go, that's exactly what Philadelphia Eagles fans need.
Yeah.
They need to be yelled at by their own coach. That is perfect. Saquon's kids, Saquon's kids have been stars since, like, he finished, I believe, 3rd in the MVP. And like a distant 3rd, but like had an incredible season after being incredible with the Giants too. But like almost single-handedly is like bringing running backs back to the forefront. And then his kids also along for that ride. And so adorable. Like I do think we know so much about them. I love them. Him and his girlfriend are now engaged. And then also linebacker Zach Bond, his kid Elian, playing in the confetti. That's really like the post game is really when you see like all the families get to go down, and it's just so cute. For some reason, a kid in a jersey, it's just my favorite thing ever.
If you're not using that as your Christmas card for the next 10 years, I don't know what you're doing. Could you imagine that, having those pictures as a kid? Like, we do throwback, we don't do throwback Thursdays, but we like will post baby pictures. And it's like us, here's me at Chuck E. Cheese, or here's me Easter egg hunting. But then you imagine those kids getting to go, hey, here's a throwback picture of me doing a snow angel in the confetti when my dad won the Super Bowl. Like, that is so cool.
Well, this weekend I performed at the Kennedy Center. And the baby is inside of me. And so we were like, oh, he got to perform at the Kennedy Center. And then you were like, Conrad, where did you get to perform when mom was pregnant?
The Chicago Theater.
The Chicago Theater. And so that's sort of like it's not the Super Bowl, sorry guys, but
no, but it's sad that I'm the only person in our family who hasn't gotten to perform at the Chicago Theater or the Kennedy Center.
Get in my belly.
All right, that's how to me to get
Oh,
credits,
you wanted to do it yourself. Okay. Climb on my back.
I could if I kept doing stand-up. All right, so I did want to talk about, with the NFL season over, now we're sort of getting into the dulls of sports. But I will say,
not to me.
Yeah,
Shohei Ohtani pitched yesterday.
He did. There was some spring training clips coming out, and that it is exciting. We forgot that our Dodgers are incredible. I hope it doesn't backfire. How great of LA sports is just like really good right now. But the NBA All-Star game is coming up this weekend. We can get into the game itself. Where do you want to start? Should we get in the game itself, or should we talk about how it's affecting our personal lives?
I think we should start with how it's affecting our personal lives.
Okay. To remind, I think we've mentioned on previous episodes, but NBA All-Star Weekend is always sort of a tough year in our relationship.
Tough time.
Oh, did I say tough year?
Yeah.
Every year of this is tough because it is Valentine's Day, and it is also your birthday.
Always.
Like, I'm always like I think they said that the Super Bowl in 2 years is also going to be on Valentine's Day, thus pushing the NBA All-Star game back. But like,
which would be great for me.
It's just going to be tough.
Yeah. So this year we made a bet at the start of the season.
Yes, we also made this bet. Yeah.
I'm a Pacers fan. CJ is a Lakers fan.
Yes.
So we made a bet. Whoever's team had a worse record at the All-Star break had to buy Valentine's Day dinner.
Which
it came down to the wire. Yeah. The Pacers have lost.
The Pacers have lost. They played on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that was your opportunity to,
flip it. Austin Reeves scored 45. I couldn't have predicted that.
One of my favorite players scored 45 on your team. Miles Turner was out. But you guys had an opportunity, and it was really wild. Again, like, the Lakers are hot right now.
Okay, whatever. So the Lakers have won,
pull this up. Okay,
meaning CJ has won that bet.
Yes.
But we can't have Valentine's Day dinner because you're going to be at NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yes.
So now I'm kind of like, I don't really want to buy you dinner because I physically can't because you're not going to be here. So now I think the bet is null and void.
Well, that's just like, it defeats the purpose of ever having bets.
Well, so when am I supposed to take you out to dinner? Because you get back
yeah.
on the 16th, and then the next day is my birthday.
Is your actual birthday.
And you better believe my parents raised me better than to buy a man dinner on my birthday.
Yeah, and that's sort of, again, talking about being a husband who does things the right way. I was never going to expect you to buy me dinner.
You weren't?
No.
Well, then why did we make the bet?
Because I think it's a fun, silly thing to track through. I just,
Okay, so what, because we also said we weren't going to do Valentine's Day presents.
Yes.
I have gotten you a present.
I got you one too.
Yeah, because I told you I got you one, because I don't think it's fair.
You think I'm just going to sit there and go, you said, no, this is, again, if you are a dumb husband, if you believe your wife saying it's fine to show up without a present.
But I didn't trick you. I thought of something you wanted, and then I said, hey, just so you know, I did get you a Valentine's Day present, so you would not be unprepared.
Yeah,
which you're
but
saying
I was
you wouldn't have been anyways.
No, I'm gonna get, again, you just can't believe your wife when they say that.
Okay, fair point. Do you have plans to get me anything to make up for the fact that you're missing Valentine's Day? So are you going to find me an NBA All-Star game specific gift to bring back?
Yes, for you and for Conrad, separate, or if there's one that makes sense, as one. But what you recommended?
I was just throwing out ideas. I go, like, what if you got Dale Davis and Antonio Davis to make a video for me?
And what I said to that was, I don't know if Dale Davis and Antonio Davis will be at this All-Star game. It was in Indianapolis last year, and they weren't even brought up. So I'm just setting your expectations.
Okay.
I don't know if I can get that one.
Okay,
but
Reggie?
I will.
We're already pretty close with Reggie.
We're pretty close with Reggie.
Jalen?
Yeah, if I'm gonna keep a Pacers radar on my
Pacers
on my
or
mind.
Purdue.
Yeah.
Or maybe someone who was like born and raised in Indiana.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin. Yeah, I have some ideas, but it's gonna be a lot of pressure. I'm working, but I'm going to find something.
So where would you say your priorities lie between working, making videos, having fun, seeing?
I'm not gonna have any fun.
Seeing NBA friends.
Yeah.
And trying to find Conrad and me some sort of present at NBA All-Star Weekend.
The list goes work. Sorry, but we have to pay bills, so I got to get that work thing done. Mm-hmm. Then the present, then having fun, and this is just a peek behind the curtain of NBA All-Star Weekend. At this stage in my life, it's not that fun. Because I don't really drink that much anymore. I am old and at parties being like, go to schmooze and stuff. It's tough at this stage of my life.
What if there's like really hot ladies walking around?
I will say, hi, my name is CJ, and I am most proud of being a husband and father.
A husband and father.
It's not nice to make fun of someone with a speech problem.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the actual game.
Which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. So the NBA, again, every year, everyone is like, how do we fix the All-Star game?
Yeah.
I'm down to talk about how to fix it if I can understand this format. Do you know what the format is of this All-Star game?
It's like the NBA on TNT hosts who are my favorite people on earth.
Yeah, we love them. They're our heroes.
So they each have like...
Okay, so just to go back a little bit.
I thought it was fine when it was East versus West.
And that's the thing. I feel like we made that a bigger problem than we.
I don't know why you're
really
reinventing the wheel. The NFL Pro Bowl also had the same issue, and they just did away with the game and just made it skills
But that one also
challenges.
makes sense because like guys were getting hurt. Like they didn't want to get hurt, so they were trying to figure out how to play a full contact game.
Yeah.
Without getting hurt. But yeah, they are playing those games, which we've said it again. I do enjoy those games. People aren't watching the Pro Bowl, though. They weren't watching it before. Even for the players, they made it worse by not holding it in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay, to just explain this format to you, it's a mini tournament with 4 teams. All the teams were picked by the NBA on TNT guys are the GMs, so they picked the teams.
And gal.
Well, and then so the fourth one is it's all NBA. The NBA players are on the first 3 teams. GMs Team Shaq, Team Kenny. The fourth one is Team Candace, but Candace's team will be comprised of first and second year NBA players and NBA G League standouts.
Okay.
And they will play in a mini tournament.
Okay, so how many games are there?
And so that's what I don't understand. Okay, anyways, to get in the nitty-gritty of that would be boring. Does this help?
No, it sounds very confusing. It's like the in-season tournament. I only liked it when the Pacers were in it. And I don't really even... I think All-Star Weekend as a whole kind of needs a overhaul because, as we've mentioned before, the dunk contest not really hitting.
No.
The best part of last year to me was Steph versus Sabrina.
Yep.
We went to NBA All-Star Saturday night for my birthday. I went with my husband and my father. So if you're sitting at home being like, she doesn't seem like very fun, I'm really cool. I think they fix it. I think they just go back to East and West.
Yes.
And MLB has something on the line. So Major League Baseball, if you win, then say the National League wins, then the National League team that is represented in the World Series has home field advantage.
Yep.
That is something. Now, that's not every guy in the All-Star game knows that their team has a chance to go to the World Series, but at least there's something.
Yeah.
And they're not even going full out. So I think you put something on the line and you make it East versus West. And most importantly, you move it off of my birthday.
I agree. I just think, life is a cycle. Let's just go back to the old ways of East versus West.
Yeah.
They can wear their own jerseys. People always say they should wear their own jerseys. I'm interested in that. That's fine.
That's confusing though, because these guys switch teams a lot.
Well, and that's why
it's like Jimmy Butler is now freshly in the West.
That is true. Jimmy Butler is not an all-star this year because he didn't play basketball much this year.
Fine, but he's an all-star to me.
Another thing that has irked me about the NBA and how these uniforms work right now is that we have gotten rid of the tradition that the home team wears white and the away team wears the darker colored jerseys. Again, something that's been thrown away and which cannot be applied to this one. So I think we just got to do a total reset on All-Star Game, All-Star Weekend. And just go back to what worked in the past.
Yeah, and I know it snowed in Indianapolis last year, and they're never going to get to host one again, but I think that's really rude, and I think you should circle back and let them host another one. Okay.
All right, so this next game we're going to play, we pulled a bunch of top athlete parenting advice, and we're going to watch these clips and see the advice and see if we would put that into our own
parenting playbook.
Our own parenting playbook. So
which right now is just threatening to call Santa.
Yeah, we just even past Christmas, we're like, I don't know, Santa's going to come, and it's
January
February
2nd. I got to call Santa.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to watch these athletes, give this advice, and would we put it into our own playbook? Okay, this first one is from Tom Brady.
Parent is probably the hardest job all of us have. And we screw up a lot, and I've screwed up a lot as a parent. So I don't want to seem like I'm some expert in parenting, because I'm certainly not that. I have 3 amazing kids that I just try to be there. I try to just be dependable and consistent for them. And honestly, whatever our kids choose, as we know, to do whatever they want to do in life, we got to support. And again, the blessing my parents gave me was when I was that long shot as a kid who was a backup quarterback on a freshman team, they never said, man, don't do that. It's going to be too hard. Let's do something different. Let's think about another backup plan. They kind of said, you know what? Go for it. Whatever you want to be, go for it. And that's probably my parenting style.
So Tom Brady's advice was pretty much he should be there. Is that Tom Brady speaking to himself? He's not usually there? Or is that something of course, I feel like that's pretty common sense that we should be there for our children, and that I guess he's also saying don't tell your children not to give up.
I took it as support their passions.
Yeah.
And so whatever they're into, you should also be into. When it was Tom Brady parenting advice, I'm like, well, I'm not going to take this. And then when I heard it, I go, I love this. And actually he looks great there.
Yeah.
And he's not talking about not eating tomatoes, and he's not talking about mooching on the lips, which I do hope to do on Conrad's wedding day. But I think it's great advice.
Okay.
Because the thing is, we as sports lovers, we're like, I hope he loves sports. I hope he wants to do this. And he very well may be like, may love music or
Yeah.
want to like be into magnetiles for the rest of his life. And it's not up to us to go, no, go this path. It's like what
Yeah.
path they choose, support them the best way you can on their path.
Okay. Yeah. See, mine was still riddled with I don't really love Tom Brady. So that's a way more positive outlook.
He set it up by being like, I don't know, I mess up all the time,
Yeah.
which is like, I love when parents do that because we do mess up constantly.
Yep.
And he also said it's the hardest job. And for that to come from like the greatest quarterback of all time,
Yeah.
Tom, I love it.
Wow.
What's harder, being a commentator or being a dad?
I also do imagine it would be funny if Conrad at like age 17 is like, I want to become a professional magnetiles builder.
And I would be like, that's awesome.
That's awesome, dude.
I support you. And like, let's find the best place to do that.
Yeah. But also we can't like transfer you money when you're 24 doing
Yeah,
that.
but like Conrad saying I want to be a professional magnetiles maker is probably the equivalent of what your mom thinks you do.
I know.
So
Mom, I want to make sports memes.
exactly.
No, it's true. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to Tom Brady on that. Guy.
Shout out to TJ's mom and Tom Brady. So we probably already know that, but it's a good reminder. So that is going in the parenting playbook.
Yes. Okay. All right. This next one is from Shaq. He is on Jennifer Hudson's show, and he has to say this about his sons and daughters.
I'm blessed. I have 6 wonderful kids that they don't give me problems. You know, they're kind of upset with me.
They're upset with you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I said something, and I was just trying to be funny, but I was serious at the same time. I said, you can't touch daddy cheese until you get 2 degrees.
That's a good one, honey.
So they're young and they're doing their own thing now, and they call me for money every now and then. I'll be like, I ain't got it. Daddy broke.
I think like for the situation Shaq is in,
Yeah.
that is probably like really good advice
Yeah.
because if my dad was Shaq, I would not want to work. My dad is not Shaq and I still don't want to work.
Yeah.
But I am not like I think people can absolutely find success outside of the parameters of college degrees.
Yes, yeah.
So I think the sentiment is very good of like you gotta pave your own way and like work hard, but I wouldn't necessarily tie it to degrees.
Yes, yeah. I think that saying is more so that he just liked that it rhymed.
Yeah.
But I do like the sentiment of like go out there, achieve something, or like, you know, have a passion, chase it, accomplish it, and then you can have access to this insane bank accounts that I have. And I do think for how silly Shaq is, it's like a pretty self-aware approach.
Yeah, 6 kids is a lot.
6 kids is a lot. Yeah.
That's and like you think he has so much money, but then you're like it divided by 6. Like they do need to get degrees.
So Shaq, we will. I don't know if I'll ever get to say the cheese degrees line to our son, but if I was Shaq, I would add that to my parenting playbook. Okay, this next one to a player that we aren't the biggest fans of, just from like a playing standpoint. J.J. Watt. Do you like J.J. Watt?
Listen, I interviewed him and he didn't like me, and I was complimenting him.
He's probably tired from like the media run he had to do.
I thought we were going to connect and we didn't.
Okay, this is J.J. Watt.
What, twirling the terrible? I do have a bone to pick because I put that video out of Koa twirling the terrible title, and obviously we got the Grinch set up there. 99% positive, great comments, but of course you get the 2 or 3 idiots who are the parenting kings of the world who say, "Oh look, another iPad baby. Oh look, we can't parent. We have to put a screen in front of them." I got a message for you. We're at the stadium for 6.5 hours total. So if you are the King Kong best parent on the planet and you can entertain your child for 6.5, 7 hours while watching the game and watching your brother play, you're a better person than I am.
Yes, they are.
If not, just be a normal ass parent, put the iPad in front of them, play a damn game.
Yeah, agreed. But those people are the best. They are so good at what they do. And I assume every piece of food that they let their toddler or kid eat is super healthy.
J.J. Watt, an iPad parent, or is raising an iPad kid, as they call it, which is a very big, like we get that or see that a lot
Screens.
in the comments. Like
the number one debate.
Number one debate, be like raising an iPad kid. They say not to do it. But in this case, what do you think?
Well, and he has a son close to our age. He's being interviewed by Pat McAfee, has a daughter close to our age. I totally get what he's saying. We flew for 5.5 hours yesterday, and our son napped for 2.5 of it. And then I look over at one point and is watching Peppa Pig, a show he's never watched before.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine with the iPad. What I am against is the terrible towel. If you put a Steelers terrible towel in your toddler's hands, absolutely
Big no-no.
not. That is I wouldn't even wipe Conrad's booty with a terrible towel. I don't want it close to him. So no Steelers gear is going anywhere near my parenting playbook.
Yes, that's a big no-no. We do not raise terrible towel kids in our home.
No.
But the iPad thing, listen, if you admit, or if you are out there saying like, I'm 1,000% against iPads, they ruin your kid's brain, like you just don't have enough research, I think, to say that like 1 minute, 2 minute, or the 20 minutes, like, is going to ruin your kid for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and he's watching The Grinch. Wait, come on, The Grinch our son loves The Grinch. We read the books.
Yes.
It depends what they're watching.
Yeah.
It's not like Koa is just like on there
Yes.
scrolling and getting to like violent commercials or anything.
Yes.
He's watching a kid item while he's watching football. You think like we let our son watch football all the time, and I'm sure that that's not approved by the pediatricians of America.
Yeah, you need to stop watching this Christmas classic, and you need to watch these
Your
dudes
uncle
bang their heads against each other.
tackle a man.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like everyone making those comments, iPad kid, they're bored enough. They should go watch their children instead of commenting on this clip telling a superstar athlete how to raise their kids. Like, I don't know. We need the iPad here and there.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. You know what the best thing to worry about is, are you talking to your child?
Are you reading to them?
Yes. We read 9,000 books every night. So iPad, you can watch iPad, but also read to your kids.
Don't take your kid to a Steelers game.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play our final game of the episode. We are calling it Meet the Parents. In this game, I'm going to show you a parent of an athlete, and you're going to have to guess who the athlete is.
Okay.
This is tough.
Let's
Okay,
hope
you
they
ready?
Look like them.
Yeah. Okay, you ready? First one.
I'm honestly trying to look at the kid.
And I'll give you a clue.
It's an NBA son.
It's an NBA son. He's tall.
Okay, he's
Yep.
tall. That was my clue?
I will say, I'll give you another clue. Champion.
I know it's not Kevin Durant because I know what his mom looks
Yeah.
like. He's a champion. I know what LeBron's mom looks like.
Last season.
Last season. Oh, is that Jason Tatum's mom?
It's Jason Tatum's mom.
Okay, but I didn't get that from...
You can see in her face. Very much looks like his mom.
Yes, I do see in the smile. You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
This
Pretty
one.
lady. Hi, Mama Tatum.
Okay, this next one should be easy to get because we've seen him a lot. I feel like he's kind of like he's
LeVar Ball.
No.
Oh.
Okay. There was some controversy with him, or just more so like he was kind of in the spotlight too
LeVar
much.
Ball.
Ready?
Oh, that's John Morant's dad.
John Morant.
Love him.
T Morant.
And everyone says he looks like Usher, but he doesn't there.
No.
But yeah, he cracks me up.
He's pretty funny.
I'm glad Jaw's back, and I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, I think he's like a younger parent, and so
All these parents are our age.
yeah, and like, how would we react if we got to sit courtside at every game of our superstar
I would be
son?
banned
Yeah.
from every arena.
Okay. This next one,
Draymond?
no, football legend.
Oh, Donovan McNabb.
Yep.
They look alike.
Yeah.
They look alike. Wow,
Yeah.
Mama McNabb. I feel like she was in a soup commercial with
She was
him.
definitely in a soup commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to see her.
Okay.
So there is a giant clue in this picture.
There's a giant clue in this picture. Oh boy. Can I have the sport?
Football.
Football. There's a giant clue in this picture.
In the picture.
Is it the Florida? Is it because of the palm trees in the
all
background?
white parents love Florida.
Okay, I'm looking. The mom. Is it Tom Brady?
Yeah. The mom is wearing a 12 necklace. A 12 diamond necklace. They're funny. I like them. Classic dad. Very famous.
Okay.
Very, very famous.
Football? Basketball? What sport?
Oscar-winning film.
Oscar-winning film. Oh, that's Serena and Venus' dad.
Yes, this is Richard Williams.
Richard Williams. King Richard.
King Richard.
Shout out Will Smith.
I mean, his are easier. There's a really...
It's hard.
I'm zooming in because I felt like there was too big of a clue in this one, too.
Football mom.
Football mom.
The only football mom I really know is Donna Kelsey. Is the clue that the team name?
Yeah, her jersey was a dead giveaway.
Is it Peyton Manning's mom?
That is not what their mom looks like.
I don't know.
This is a modern mom.
Modern mom. Is the player currently playing?
Yep.
Jared Goff's mom? No. Man, now I'm just thinking of all these blonde players.
Okay, I'll zoom out.
Okay.
I'll zoom out.
Oh, Bosa.
Yeah. She's wearing both jerseys. She's a mama divided.
Again, to talk about parents who have multiple children in the league, tell us that recipe.
These moms and these chains. I mean, that is what's that called? A Cuban?
Yeah.
That's a thick Cuban
links.
Mama Bosa.
Yeah.
And a bedazzled brim hat.
Yeah. One day maybe you'll get to wear that.
A bedazzled brim hat.
Yeah.
It'll say Magnetiles Mom.
Yeah. Okay, that's been another episode of Co-Captains. That was a parent-packed episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had caffeine before this.
Oh my gosh. Comment below if you thought Megan had more caffeine than she usually
You're going
has.
to drop kick me out of the studio.
I was just like, maybe look back, like freeze frame on me, and if I'm like, is she okay?
I'm not. This baby is up in my rib.
But enjoy All-Star Weekend this weekend. Husbands, good luck with Valentine's Day, and hopefully your wife's birthday isn't also within days of that.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to be back. It's a really fast trip to San Francisco.
I'm going to miss you too.
I'm going to miss you too.
And I'm going to miss all of the Co-Captains viewers.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Go Pascal Siakam.
Subscribe to Whistle Sports.